Good evening, man. I was almost, I'm so used to doing this at 9 o'clock that I was sitting here and I was sitting in the chair and Tilly and I had a big dinner and fixed some chicken wings and all kind of good stuff and I was sitting here reading. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's after 8 o'clock, and I hate going live late. It's one of my big pet peeves is being on time. And tonight I'm 8 minutes late. So, but we're not going to keep you long. We're going to be here about 20 minutes like we normally do. So let's get over here in the. Whew, I was listening. I don't know if y'all watch Dancing with the Stars, but I was listening to Nelly, and so I hadn't heard that song. It's getting hot in here in a long, long time. So, but let's get this thing rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs from all over the world, please make welcome the truth guy, Mr. Home-Based Business himself. The man of the hour, everyone's favorite, Kerry Miller.
Okay, man, and it's good to be back. I tell you what, had an absolutely amazing week, and it kind of opened my eyes to some things, and it really allowed me to look at things a lot differently than you look at sometimes, and to ask my own self questions. And I was watching Dancing with the Stars a little bit earlier, and I always like watching reality shows. A lot of people say, "Well, I don't like those reality shows," but really, you learn a lot from them because you it's not about the reality show, but it's about learning from people's stories. And we all have stories, right? I mean, you have a story, I have a story. We all have a story, but it's what we do with that story that allows us to move and go somewhere else in our lives. Now, I know some people they get stuck in their story. Thank you. I like purple. And somebody just said, "Hey, you really like your shirt." But I'm one of those people who love stories, and not everybody gets out of their story. I mean, it's just the way it is. People are stuck in their story, and they don't know how to get out, and they're like, "Gosh, man, if I only could." And I think that's the sad part of life is as we get stuck in that story and we get stuck in that place, we see opportunities to make decisions and do things and move to other places and make things happen in our lives, but we don't take advantage of it, or we're afraid to take advantage of it. And this week during this conference, it really made me think about this. Now, this conference was about, and everybody will know what I'm talking about, the little sensors on your cars, okay, that tell you if you're backing up and you're getting too close, and autonomous cars where they drive by themselves. That's what this conference was about, and about all the technology and everything that's coming. I mean, it's just amazing if you could see what's coming and what's on its way when it comes to autonomous vehicles and the technology that's behind it and the investment side of it. And it was just really, really cool. And I want to share something with you that the last speaker of the day, he was an investor and he owned an investment company, and they invest in this technology, this LiDAR technology, this radar technology with cameras and lasers and all this stuff. But he said something that was very important. Even with all the emerging companies that are coming out, only a few will survive because they are the ones who really stay focused and really have it together and know exactly where they're going and how they're going to build this thing, and they have all the components together ready to jump when the market is ready to go and the pricing is ready to go. And I started thinking about life in general. And we all kind of get there, it's kind of like, man, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to, I want to see what somebody else does. And I think part of the problem in in our society today is we're taught to wait. We're taught to see what somebody else does. And that kind of goes back to the story. And I can't remember the girl's name. But she was talking on Dancing with the Stars, but she was talking about how when she grew up homeless. And she was living in a church or something like that. And she grew up that way, and she would go into the bathroom and change her clothes and that kind of stuff. And so but the backstory was really amazing, and she had a chance to get out of that. And she said when the opportunities came, I jumped at it. And she was talking about how blessed she was that the opportunities were there, and how important it was. And it was just an amazing story, and I hope you watch that. But what happens is we get caught up in our own story. We get caught up in our story, and we allow it to lock us down. We allow it to not allow us to be taken out of, and we allow it to push us back. And then we start thinking, I can never ever move forward. And I get asked this question all the time, and it was kind of the topic of tonight's discussion before I started watching all these shows. But I get asked all the time, why is it that some people make it? They make it big. They make all this money. They do all these things. Why is it some people are able to do that and others aren't? And it's only a couple of words that I believe hold people. No, I don't have on lipstick. Somebody said, "You got on lipstick, Carrie?" No, I don't have on lipstick, but I just have naturally beautiful lips. I can't help it. But anyway, never been asked that before. But anyway, it's two words that allow you to do what you do, that either holds you back and keeps you from the success that you want, or it keeps you in the place that you're at. And I call it want to. Two words, want to. It's the thing that separates those that are truly successful and making a generational income that allows their family to be taken very well care of, and those who work paycheck to paycheck and do those things. And we all have great ideas. I'm not going to take that away from anybody. I'm a dreamer. I've dreamed all my life. I've been there. I've dreamed of things to come, and they never materialized. And I'm one of those guys that wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have big ideas, and it's like, wow, this is going to happen, and it never materializes. Or I wake up and I have this big idea, and it's like, man, I'm going to put everything into it, and I put a lot of money into it, and it don't go anywhere. And but it doesn't stop me. Why? Because I have want to. You've got to want to take yourself from one place to another. Now, I was reading an article today as I was sitting in the chair, dozing back and forth, and I saw an email come in, and I was reading through the email, and I was reading this article, and it was very interesting to me because it was kind of on the things that I was thinking about that I wanted to talk about tonight. And it was talking about people who want to be successful and don't want to be successful, and those who make it and those who don't. And and the whole topic is people who truly take an opportunity and take it to the end. They have a burning desire in them that does not allow anything or anyone to stop them. And you guys hear me talk about that all the time. You've got to tune people out. You've got to stop people from squishing your dreams. Everybody knows better than you. I was talking to a lady the other day, and we were talking about that very subject. She said, "Isn't it amazing? Everybody knows you better than you do." And I said, "Oh, I know. Trust me." I said, "Everybody I talk to, they seem to know me better than I do. They seem to know what decisions I'm going to make or what decisions I'm not going to make. They seem to know which direction I'm going to go and in what direction I'm not going to go." She said, "I know. It's mind boggling to me how people think they know everything that you're supposed to do, and they don't follow their own direction. And so, but we're surrounded by those people, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just part of life. It's part of who we were and who we are. People who are like that will never, ever, maybe 1%, maybe. I've never met anybody that's done it, but they're so concerned about you that they will never do anything for themselves. And they don't want you to be successful. They will tell you, you're not, you can't, you won't. They don't have want to, they don't have desire, they don't have a direction. All they want to do is be the negative person who drags everybody into their lair so that so that they can always say this, oh, it's just the way it is. Everybody's like that. That's not true. It's not true. People can pick themselves up and take themselves to the place they want to be if they truly want to do that. So if you want to be successful, if you want to create a generational wealth, if you want to, and I'm not saying that you don't have money. What I'm saying is, and when I speak of generational wealth, I'm talking about something that will take you and your loved ones and the passions in your life, that you can support them with money from now till eternity. And you can build that. I was just reading a while ago, I think Beyonce is worth something like $300 or $400 million. That's not a lot of money. I mean, yeah, to the average person, I mean, I wished I had $400 million, but I know people who have 400, 500, $600 million. And their ideas and their work ethic and the things that they do aren't really much different than mine. They have want to. So I know that I will reach that pinnacle in my life if it maybe before I die. I just turned 60. Who knows? I kind of started late in life. I kind of started when I was 50 years old to really dive in and dive deep and start creating the things that I do. Maybe about 48 to 50, and start creating the things I do. I've always had an entrepreneurial brain. In 2011, I jumped into the tech market. I started teaching myself how to build mobile apps, and I knew that was the direction things were going. And gosh, man, I didn't go to college. I barely went through high school. I mean, ask my teachers, ask my friends. I just barely got through. It was something I couldn't sit in a classroom for more than 15 or 20 minutes, and my brain was everywhere else in the world. I mean, I should have been a historian because I love history. If I just took 7 classes of history, I'd have probably been a college professor. But I'm glad I'm not. But I wish that I would have paid better attention in school. I wish I had it in me to do that, but I didn't. Okay, and maybe it's because I didn't want to. Now, if I was medically diagnosed, maybe it was something else. Maybe my brain wasn't wired to sit in a class. I'm not wired to be an employee. I'm wired to be an entrepreneur. I'm wired to do things and explore and get out of that realm. A lot of people aren't wired that way. A lot of people want to be an employee. They have to have structure. I can't stand structure. I hate structure. I don't want a time clock. I don't want those things. I don't like structure. I like to do things. I like to put things in blocks. And that's probably why I couldn't sit in class, because it was so structured. That's why I would have never gone to college. I could not have sat in a college class with 500 other students listening to some jackass. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said jackass. I know those guys mean well. The teachers mean well. Some of them do. Some of them don't. That's just my personal opinion. I'm the truth guy, so I can say what I want. But you sit in class and you get this big fancy degree, and you go to the mall. This is just a side tidbit. All of these students wanted to become something, but they did not know what. So immediately out of high school, they go to college, and they've got people that are saying, okay, you can do this, you can do this. Your grades, all right, your grades say you can be this. And they go through school and they get out and they're still making, $10 an hour. Why? Because they didn't want to excel and do the true thing that they wanted to do. Most of them didn't want to go to college. That's why most people don't finish school. You know, I mean, give me five people. Give me five people today and allow me to teach them and mentor them and direct them where to go. And by this time next year, they'll be a millionaire. Maybe you're one of those five. Maybe you're one of those that can be mentored and taught and have the want to and desire to get to a place that you want to go. But here's what happens. Everybody wants you to do something else, and that's what you listen to. Everybody wants you to take you to the direction they want to go, and you don't have the cojones. You don't have the fortitude. You don't have the internal fortitude to say, I'm not going to do that. This is what I'm going to do because this is what I want to do. For once in your life, stand up for yourself. If you want to be, my grandfather, loved him. He was actually my step grandfather, but he was a genius. He was a financial genius. I just loved listening to him talk. He was very astute, very proper. I mean, used words that I would never use probably because they were just, they were out of the middle of the dictionary. But he was so financially smart. But the things that he said back then when I was a young boy, and I would listen to those things, he said, Kerry, if you want to be successful, you do what the successful people do. If you want to fail, you follow the failures. And the problem is that we surround ourselves with people who do not have the internal fortitude to want to be any more than they are. They like getting up in the morning, going to work, punching the clock, coming back home, and but that's not what they want to do. They settle for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, some of them $25,000 to $30,000 a year, and they never take them to a place that they want to go because they hold themselves back because everybody tells them the only thing you will ever do is be a hamburger flipper in your whole life at the restaurant. And there's nothing wrong with that. My father owned a restaurant. I got a cut on this thumb right here. I was washing dishes at 7 years old. I flipped hamburgers. I worked in my dad's restaurant. I cooked. I waited tables. I loved waiting tables. I loved people. If you didn't leave me a tip, I was going to chase you out to your car and tell you that you forgot something on the table. But you know what? I enjoyed that. But that was a foundation in life. That was a beginning in life. I wasn't making $30 or $40 an hour. Now I charge people $250 an hour to spend time talking to me. Why? Because I want to. And because they will listen. Some, not everybody. I have people that spend $250 listening to me and they never do a thing I say and they continue to fail. And I'm not saying that every single thing I say is correct, but I take people down a path that I've been that allows me to take myself to the place that I am today. I just produced a major conference. Guys, I've never produced a major conference in my life, but I had a fellow from the UK email me and said, hey, can you do Zoom? And I said, yeah. And he said, hey, can you help us produce this conference for this LiDAR? It's called LiDAR, which is the stuff for autonomous cars. He said, could you help us produce that conference? I said, yeah, I can do it. And guess what? This week I did it. It was amazing. I mean, I felt like a little kid in a candy store. I'm producing but why did I do that? Why do you do the things that you don't do? I did it because I wanted to. You want to, but you allow people to hold you back. You allow people to stop you from doing the things that you want to do. Now, some people listen to this and they say, Gary, you're so full of, am I? The people who listen to the things I say, are you in the same place you are today that you were a year ago? Ask yourself that question. Is Kerry full of crap? Or are you truly in the same place today that you were a year ago? Maybe 2 years ago? Maybe 5 years ago? And you still wake up every single day saying, gosh, if I would have just done this then, And this is what happens. And this is why I push so hard. I just turned 60. If you don't believe me, look at that silver hair. I just turned 60 years old. I started in my late 40s, really turning it on because I did not want to be that same person I was at 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. I wanted to have something amazing, something that I built, something that, the blessings that God gave me to put up here. Okay. God gave me a brain and I use it every single day to teach myself. I don't go sit in a class. There's a thing called Google. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's called Google. And you can truly YouTube. You can truly learn anything you truly want to learn if you just want to. If you want to make $1 million, and some people say, Kerry, why do you use that number? Most people can't comprehend that. That's why I use it. Because I want people to comprehend that you can make $1 million. I want you to comprehend that you can do anything that you want to do. I want you to comprehend that you can be the person that you want to be if you just want to. And you can be successful as the next guy if you truly want to. I have people tell me, you guys, if I could, I need to write a book on the conversations I've had with people over since 2010. So the last 10 years of the conversations I've had with people who have said, Kerry, I really want to do this. Could you help me? And I do. And they're still doing the same thing 10 years later. It's heartbreaking to me that someone wanted to take the skills and the knowledge and the abilities that they had to be able to take themselves to the place that they wanted to be. And 10 years later, they're still at the same place, running around in circles, trying to figure out if they really want to do it. I will promise you, I don't do anything I don't want to do. My mom says it's because I'm hard-headed. I'm not hard-headed. I'm just who I am. And I don't listen to the outside noise. There's only one person, but besides my mother, and I still consult her to this day. I text her, I talk to her. She is my rock. I love my mom probably more than anything in this world. But I listen to God. God allows me and has given me the abilities to do the things that I do, and that's who I listen to. I pray. I'll stand on my porch and I'll look up at the skies and I'll see all the beautiful stars and all the things that God has created. And I say, God, if it be your will, this will be done. Just give me the ability to see it forth, to go through and make these things happen. And if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. Because I know I've got God on my side. And I know that my mom supports me. It was so exciting watching my mom during this conference as I was talking to her as I was producing this show. And I was talking to her and she was actually Googling LiDAR and looking at the things that I was producing that I knew nothing about. But it's the most amazing feeling when you accomplish something that you want to accomplish because you want to. Why are you not successful as the other person that you say, gosh, I wish I was making like Beyonce, $300 or $400 million a year? Why are you not doing that? Because you don't want to bad enough. Why are you not generating $1 million a month? Because you don't want to bad enough. Now, is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely, it's not. You've got to work at it. You can, and I mentioned this in my earlier video. I wanted to send out a quick video because people kept texting me, Kerry, are you okay? We haven't seen you online. We haven't seen you talking. It's just because I've been busy. But you have to work at it in order to make it happen. All this get rich crap that you're going to get rich overnight without doing anything, send me your email and I'm going to send you $1 million. That is such BS. And you know what's amazing? I see people, I literally See people, send me info, send me info, send me info, send me info. You know what? The next thing you know, they're hacking your accounts. You're losing money because you listen to that crap. I don't care who you are. You've got to work for what you get. And if you're not willing to work for what you want, then you're never going to get it. It's not going to fall in your lap. I didn't get to where I'm at today. It just didn't fall in my lap. I have busted my ass for the last 15 years learning and studying technology. I was one of the first webinar guys online. I was doing webinars when people didn't even know what a webinar was. I was doing live videos when people just started understanding that you could do it. And had crowds of 200 or 300 people. I've been viewed over 1 million times on YouTube. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because I had a desire to be a part of the future. You have to have that same desire if you want to take yourself from point A to point B. I'm not talking to those who are just not successful or just don't have it. I'm talking about those that have something today that could disappear tomorrow and you don't have anything to fall back on. I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to the entrepreneurs out there that every time they start something, they stop. You're not an entrepreneur. You're a hobbyist. I'm talking to those who wake up in the mornings, they look in the mirror and say, I'm going to change today. And when they walk out the door, they see the same blade of grass and never walk over and realize it's a weed. You see, if you truly want to change, if you truly want to make something happen in your life, whether I help you do it, or you get on YouTube and learn how to do it, or you read a book and learn how to do it, or you go on Audible and download books and listen to them to help change your mindset, do something. If you truly want to be successful and truly make a change in your life and truly want to take yourself to a different level, then you've got to do it. I can't do it for you. You've got to get off your laurels if you want to. You've got to do things in your life that you truly never believed that you could. And I will promise you, I'll guarantee you, if you will do that, I guarantee it, if you will do that, you will see changes in your life like you've never seen before. I have people call me and say, what am I going to do, man? My child's going to college. I got to pay for it. Told them all my life, I'm going to pay for it. You're making the same amount of money today they were 10 years ago. Let me tell you something, college ain't cheap. My son wants to do this. My daughter wants to do this. And I feel responsibility to help them. So what you're going to do is you're going to go broke and do everything you can to give them everything you have because you love them and care for them, but you don't have the desire or the internal fortitude to do something different to help them get what they want. Generational wealth. I talk about generational wealth all the time, and I didn't create that word. Okay? But it's a powerful word. It's something you should have thought about the day your children were born. If you listen to me and you have young children, you need to start thinking about generational wealth today. Creating a residual income program that absolutely pays you month after month after month, that will carry over month after month after month. You have to look at that kind of program. That's what I build. Everything I do is based on recurring income. Everything. I want to get paid today and tomorrow. Matter of fact, I had money come in today that, gosh, it's probably been 2 years. I've been getting that same money on this day every single month, But do you want to do it? Let me close with this. And I'm about 10 minutes over, and I just looked at the clock, and I hadn't had a chance to talk in a week. You're lucky you didn't get me for an hour. I want you to think about this. This is very important. The minute you watch this call and you finish this call, as you get to this point, look in the mirror and say, you know what, Carrie, I want to do this. You deserve it. You deserve every single thing you've ever wanted. You've just got to stop allowing everybody to stop you from getting it. Do you truly want to? Do you really, really want to? Make a change. And I don't care if you're making $1 million today. What's wrong with making 10 million? What's wrong with making 30 million? I'm talking about building a generational wealth system that will change your life forever if you want to. And the only person that stops you is you. Hey, I want to thank everybody, man. It's great to come back on. It's been a phenomenal week. It's just, I mean, I've had the best time in my life this week. It's just been absolutely amazing, and I learned so much, and I just thank God every day. I thank my mom for her support, my friends who love me, and it just means so much to me to know that I've accomplished. I was able to check a box off my bucket list this week. So, but God bless everybody. Have a good night, and just when you get off here, hey, if I don't think I have my email on here. I didn't really set this up for anything, to be honest with you. I'll put an email. Email me. Check the comments. Email me. Just email me. Hey, Carrie, want to talk? And I'll send you a link. And I hold a special, very intimate training on Thursday nights. It's only open to 8 people, and I hold a very intimate training on Thursday nights. And you can email me at Carrie Miller TV at gmail.com, Carrie Miller TV at gmail.com. Just put in the subject line. You ain't got to write a letter. Just put in the subject line, training, and I'll send you a special link on Thursday nights. But God bless you. I love you. And I truly mean that from my heart. You folks don't realize that. I mean, I've been coming on video for a long time, talked to millions of people, and helped change a lot of lives. And that means more to me than any dollar bill I've ever made. So everybody have a great evening. Good night. God bless. And I'm going to close out. Turn it around, Frankie.